Well, as I told our team, first and foremost, getting a win at home is always um, extremely satisfying in that we always want to defend our home stadium. This now puts us at I think 11-1 in our last 12 games, and that's something that is so important in developing a consistency within your program is winning at home. And our seniors are so much a part of that in building that consistency at winning at home. And so I thank them for that. Certainly getting a win for them is important. We told them that you'll get a chance to kiss your mom again, but you'll remember winning the game. That's the most important thing. So we really focused on understanding that it's an emotional day, but we needed to play Notre Dame football. Enthusiastic, physical, and I thought we did that today. We made some plays when we needed to. And again, I think we exhibited defensively, a physical presence at the line of scrimmage, stopping, except for maybe a long run late in the game, a very, very talented running game, and an outstanding quarterback, and slowing that offense down. And then a great balance on offense and running the ball and throwing the ball. So a very good win for Notre Dame today, and really proud of our football team and the way we competed. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
You talked about along the line of scrimmage defensively. There was so much with Lewis Nix being out and then Kona out. Jerron Jones seemed to really 7 tackles. He blocked the kick. Is this a game where he just kind of kicked it up, ratcheted up more than you thought?
Opportunity, right? He got the opportunity. It was a next man in situation. Kona tried to answer the bell, but as you saw, he could. And I think I kind of alluded to the fact that when we talked on Thursday that he would go as long as he could, but had a high ankle sprain, and he gave us all he had. Jerron, we felt like was coming on, and he played exceedingly well, and really happy for him. But we thought this was something that when we recruited him, that he was capable of, and he showed that today.
And with the weather conditions today, was there a greater necessity to run more, or was just the flow of the game dictated it?
No, we felt like we could certainly run the football against BYU, but it was part of what we're, certainly about offensively, as we have, defined more our offense. And what I was most pleased again was you talk about Jerron Jones, but Nick Martin went down with a hyperextended knee. Matt Hegarty played almost 3/4 of the game at center, and you had again, a lot of young players in there. As I told our guys, we had a lot of guys out there with very thin resumes, and they built them up today, and it was really really good to see.
The red zone defense, Brian, I mean, critical field goals instead of touchdowns there.
Yeah.
What went right for you guys down deep?
Well, we made some plays, and if you look back on some of them, tackling, some individual plays on the quarterback in particular, we paid a great deal of attention on stopping the quarterback. Jalen, as you know, in the fourth quarter made a huge play, an individual play, one-on-one on Hill. And then we gang tackled. I thought we did a very good job. I thought Coach Diaco hit some very good calls down in that short zone area where we were able to come up with some big stops.
Was this game closer or approximated the way you want your team to play in November as opposed to how maybe dissatisfied you were a couple? This pretty close to the formula for you?
This is the way we got to play football. this is Notre Dame football. This is the way we need to play. This is what we're capable of playing. It's a much more physical brand of football that we're capable of playing. And quite frankly, our team knew that, and they responded accordingly.
Brian, why do you feel like it fell all into place today that you played Notre Dame football and you
Because
played
they're
great?
capable of playing that way. I think the Pittsburgh game was, you know, an anomaly for a number of reasons that I just can't get into right now, other than the fact that it was behind us, and they had a chance to go out and show in their last home game the kind of football team that they really are. And I thought they did that today against a very good opponent at BYU.
And how would you assess Tommy's day today?
I thought he played well. I mean, you never want to throw an interception, you know, down in the red zone. You know, he had an opportunity, obviously, to get the ball out quicker. But he did some good things for us today. Again, we're measuring Tommy's success based upon wins and losses. You know, you want to keep your critical errors down to a minimum. You know, I thought he had, you know, he didn't have, other than the one interception, he didn't have the critical errors that cost you football games.
Brian, Dan Fox all over the stat sheet. Did he maybe play with a different energy given it was the last home game for him?
I thought he was really locked in. We asked our guys to do something with this game. We asked a single-minded focus that they hadn't shown against Pittsburgh, and an attention to detail. We felt like we didn't have that against Pittsburgh, and I think all of our players, and in particular our seniors, really rallied to those things. And I think we saw that with Fox. I thought he was on point in coverage, and he played the kind of football that he knows he's capable of.
With DeVaris, too, the connection with Tommy, was that something you saw develop again in the bye week?
No,
Even though
not
you guys
necessarily. I mean, it was more of, as you saw, getting their safeties off of us. You know, they just continue to drop them down. We're going to get over the top and get one-on-one matchups.
Brian, what were your thoughts on Cam, the way he ran today, and what made this a game where he was given the ball, where you wanted to give him the ball so much?
Well, it was hard to get. It was hard to get to the perimeter, and the way they were playing. You know, our outside zone play. The field was a little bit slick. You know, it was. You know, the ice out there started to develop on the field with the weather conditions, and made it harder. Plays were getting strung out, and Cam's more of a downhill inside the tackles. You know, north and south player. So the game style fits his, and I don't want to box him into a particular kind of runner, but you know, he's a physical inside runner, and so him and Torian, you know, got a lot of carries inside out, and George really helped us out a lot today too with some good physical running as well. But that was the way the running game was set up, and that's how they were defending us.
Brian, to your right, you said about 2 months ago, way over here, you said about 2 months ago that your special teams would win you a game this year, and they played very well today, especially Brinza kicking in the conditions. Could you comment on his play today?
Yeah, I think Mike made a comment relative to his fourth quarter prowess.
12 of 13 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's look, I think that last field goal was huge. Well, you know, obviously, you know, puts us up by 10 points. The wind swirling on the field. I don't know how it felt up there, but I mean, that wind is swirling, and it's a bit of a gamble at 51 yards because we're going to give him pretty good field position if we don't make it. And but when you got a kid like Kyle Brinza who is, and believe me, he is on the sideline in my face wanting to kick the football. So when you got a guy with that kind of confidence asking to kick the football, it makes it easier for me to make a decision to put him out there. So he's a great weapon for us.
Coach, to your left. Last year and this year, you've rushed very well against BYU. Have you seen anything specifically in their defense that has allowed you to do that?
No, I mean, you know, they're very rangy players on their edge. You know, Van Oy is an outstanding football player, but he's, you know, the way they're built is in their 3-4 defense. We feel like with our big tight ends, we think we can cover them up. And if they're in 3 down, you know, we feel like that's a better matchup for us. I think we just match up a little bit better when they're in their 3 down. And when they go to 4 down, it's not exactly the way they want to play because they like to, you know, drop 8 in coverage, and they certainly don't want to be in 4 down. So I think it's just we match up pretty good in the running game when we get into teams that run 3 down.
And then you were able to stop Jamal, 49 yards. He came in averaging over 100. How were you able to do that?
Well, you know, I think getting out early helped us get them out of some of the inside run game, you know, where I think the game circumstances were such that I think they had to kind of get Hill out on the perimeter and put the ball in his hands a lot more. So I don't know if it was particular that we did something, but we were really good inside. And I think we've already alluded to the fact that our inside guys played very well.
Brian, over. That single-minded focus, when did you feel confident that you were going to get that? Was that something you saw during the week in practice? Did you wait until, you know, today warm-ups to kind of make that evaluation? When did that become clear you were going to get what you wanted?
You know, I think you always get what you demand, and we were demanding it from our guys and everything that they did, from the way the locker room looked to every meeting that we went to. We went back to saying, look, you can't start winning until you stop losing. So you can't do the little things, and you got to do them the right way all the time. And not that, you know, that there was a major breakdown, but there was more of a focus on making sure that our guys were doing the little things the right way. And we had a great week of practice. I thought our Monday, where we went ones versus ones and banged it around, I could just sense right there that we were going to play pretty good today.
Just your pass defense tonight, and you had a long gain of 15 yards, big receivers, talented. How do you feel like that group performed tonight? Did they attack you the way that you thought that they would?
Yeah, I mean, we gave up some things to hold up for big plays. You know, we bled a little bit into the boundary, as you know. We gave up some swings and some quick game into the short field, which I was tempted to get into some rolled coverage in the boundary, but it would have put us in a position where they could possibly get over the top. We weren't going to let them get over the top. We were double zoning a lot to the field and trying to keep the ball in front of us. We rallied pretty good to some of their quick game stuff. So it was a game plan decision to give up some swing passes and some spot routes into the short field to take away some big plays.
Coach, over here, your seniors will obviously have 2 games left for the healthy ones, but just what have they meant to help building this program here?
Well, as I said, they've set a consistent mark of success, right? You know, in terms of winning at home, which is a big deal for us. You know, we've really changed so much in terms of our routines here, and how our kids prepare to play at home, and the whole week is there's so much going on, and they've really now shown that they can prepare for all the things that happen and really play a really good brand of football at home with 11 out of 12 wins at home. And then getting look, they've won 20 out of the last 23 regular season games, as a core group. All those numbers, go towards consistency, and that's really what we're looking for.